Honorable audience, today I speak about episode 9 of the drama The Tyrant's Chef and Its Contest. This scene is more than a cooking duel, it reflects how food conveys culture, values, and philosophy. The Joseon dish, crafted by the character played by Yoon-ah, was neat, pure, and full of warm care. The subtle scent of ginseng and scallion in broth seemed to embody Joseon's nature and its spirit. It comforted not only the body but also the mind, showing the true essence of Joseon cuisine itself. Here I read its meaning: Joseon chose simplicity, finding human warmth rather than empty splendor. This was beyond taste alone, it revealed politics, the virtue of cherishing and caring for the people. Meanwhile, Ming chefs presented Buddha Jumps Wall, a dish majestic and dazzling with costly treasures. Its overwhelming scale and presence symbolized the power and pride of the Ming dynasty at the time. Yet no grandeur could surpass Joseon's spirit of Ren, the humane mind that values empathy and kindness. Thus this duel revealed not numbers but a contrast, a clash of ideals and cultural visions of two states. Through this, I see once again that the virtue of a gentleman and love for people are shown through food. When the scores were finally announced, the Joseon team gained a narrow victory over the Ming chefs. The numbers themselves were not large in margin, yet the meaning of that victory was truly profound. Yoon-ah's character did not boast of triumph. Instead, she humbly thanked all for the occasion. She declared that her dish was not hers alone but a reflection of Joseon's care and collective heart. This humility echoed the true Confucian ideal that a chef or ruler must never forget the people first. The Ming chefs, though defeated, responded warmly, acknowledging her sincerity with respect and praise. In their applause, we sense cultural dialogue, not simply rivalry, but recognition beyond boundaries. Such a moment reveals how culinary exchange can be a bridge across states, even amid political tension. The drama thus reminds us that history is not only about wars and treaties, but also shared humanity. Food becomes a stage where compassion and wisdom, rather than weapons, determine the outcome of honor. As a historian, I believe this victory represents a timeless truth. True strength lies in humane virtue. In Korean history, such values were often tested, for survival depended not only on military force. Diplomacy, culture, and moral authority together served as shields against stronger neighboring empires. The drama reflects this truth through a food duel, where gentleness prevailed against dazzling power. Yoon-ah's character symbolizes Joseon's spirit, placing empathy and humility above mere prestige. She reveals that greatness is not measured in gold, but in the warmth one can share with fellow beings. The Ming chef's splendid Buddha Jumps Over the Wall was unmatched in costliness, yet lacked tenderness. Joseon's modest black bone chicken soup instead told a story of family, memory, and comfort of the heart. This contrast illuminates the philosophical divide: ostentation on one side, humane ethics on the other. As historians, we must see beyond the entertainment, for drama often encodes lessons about past cultures. This episode reminds us that Joseon's endurance lay in values that connected ruler, people, and nature. Thus, even in fiction, we encounter a mirror image of history's deeper rhythm between might and virtue. We should also note the symbolism of ingredients, for each element in the dish carried deeper meaning. Ginseng was not only medicine but spirit of life. Scallion represented resilience, simple yet vital. The black bone chicken, rare and precious in itself, stood for endurance of a small yet proud kingdom. When combined, these parts expressed Joseon's hope that modest strength could nurture and protect all. In contrast, the Ming dish gathered treasures vast: abalone, sea cucumber, shark fin, and fine spirits. It displayed abundance, yet also imperial excess, a table where grandeur obscured tenderness inside. This comparison mirrors political conditions then: Joseon facing Ming's power with dignity, not fear. By using food as metaphor, the drama illustrates how smaller nations crafted identity through virtue. The audience is thus invited to taste philosophy, not simply cuisine, but ideas cooked into a bowl. As historians, we find that such symbolic readings offer insight into values beyond written records. Food tells us what people cherished, feared, and What they believed sustained the fabric of society. The judge's scoring scene deserves close attention, for it dramatizes fairness, tension, and humility. Joseon chefs evaluated the Ming with strict eyes, yet still granted recognition for their technique. Ming chefs in turn judged Joseon with discernment, acknowledging depth of flavor despite its modesty. The final tally, 27 against 28, was narrow but decisive, shaping the narrative arc. Numbers here serve not as mathematics alone, but symbols of balance between might and moral worth. Yoon-ah's character received the verdict calmly, expressing gratitude instead of prideful boasting. Her humility reminded both sides of deeper lessons. That victory is hollow without respect for others. The Ming chefs responded not with resentment but with admiration, applauding her sincerity warmly. This mutual respect hints at cultural diplomacy, where rivalry ends in shared growth and learning. In this way, drama portrays not division but unity, showing how even contests can foster mutual bonds. Thus we see history echoed in performance, where competition was tempered by civility and virtue. This moment allows us to reflect on the role of art, for drama translates history into vivid experiences. While not every detail is factually exact or real, the essence of cultural values emerges faithfully. Joseon's triumph reminds us that history is written not only by victors of war but by stewards of heart. In the Confucian worldview, the virtue of ren, or benevolence, was central to rulership and conduct. The dish prepared with grandmother's hand in mind was not just food, but a vessel carrying tradition. Through taste and aroma, it evoked family memory, connecting present diners to ancestors long past. Such continuity is a hallmark of Korean identity, rooted in reverence for kinship and daily harmony. Meanwhile, Ming cuisine highlighted imperial glory, a reflection of wealth that demanded global notice. Yet wealth alone cannot preserve bonds of society, for without empathy, luxury becomes fragile pride. The drama wisely staged this contrast as a contest, turning the dining table into a stage of history. As historians, we find in these stories metaphors, bridges between fact, imagination, and reflection. We may ask why such a tale resonates with viewers, why audiences feel moved by this fictional contest. The answer lies in its universal message of virtue, a theme that transcends culture, era, and nation. Viewers see not only chefs competing for prestige, but human beings striving to honor values of care. When Yoon-ah's character bows in gratitude, we witness humility, an act powerful in its silence. Her respect toward rivals turned victory into peace, teaching us that recognition matters more than pride. The Ming chef's applause became a dialogue of souls, where culinary skill gave way to mutual humanity. Such gestures remind us that even adversaries can find common ground when guided by shared respect. This resonates with global audiences today as well, for every society struggles between pride and care. The drama's artistry lies in linking past to present, conveying Joseon's values to modern eyes directly. As historians, we cherish these cultural retellings, because they keep history alive in living memory. Through drama, ideals once written in old records are breathed anew, carried forward by imagination. In analyzing this episode, we confront two models, one of grandeur, the other of modest compassion. Ming's style embodied dominance through abundance, a projection of empire's reach across land and sea. Joseon's style embodied endurance through humility, a philosophy of balance between people and nature. The contest dramatized more than culinary mastery. It became an allegory of competing world orders. One order measured greatness by wealth and spectacle, the other by empathy, memory, and shared humanity. Yoon-ah's role illuminated this difference well, for she embraced tradition while engaging rivals. Her dish carried her grandmother's silent wisdom, a reminder that continuity sustains cultural life. The judges recognized this unspoken depth of value, rewarding not only taste but the story within food. As historians, we must learn from such narratives, for fiction often refracts truths overlooked by fact. Here, drama transforms kitchens into arenas of law, where moral philosophy confronts imperial grandeur. Through this lens, we understand why Joseon endured, preserving identity amid stronger, wealthier powers. Let us also consider the audience inside the story. for their reactions mirrored lessons of the contest. Courtiers, nobles, and commoners all witnessed how a humble dish could triumph over lavish abundance. Their astonishment reflected more than surprise, it signaled recognition of values deeper than taste. Drama here becomes a classroom of living history, teaching viewers that empathy may outweigh power. The applause, the smiles, the humble acceptance all wove together a tapestry of shared cultural pride. We are reminded that stories shape identity as much as chronicles, monuments, and political decrees do. By dramatizing victory through moral restraint, the episode preserved a core value of Korean tradition. Yoon-ah's character thus became more than a chef. She emerged as a symbol of cultural resilience. Her voice, steady and modest, embodied a principle that leadership begins with compassion and humility. For modern viewers, this message rings universal, resonating with a world still divided by rivalry. Through her victory, fiction met philosophy, and audiences glimpsed the enduring strength of virtue. In conclusion, the 9th episode offered a mirror, showing how food embodied history, ethics, and life. Joseon's quiet strength overcame Ming's grandeur, revealing that humanity surpasses wealth and power. The contest ended not in hostility but in respect, a reminder that peace is built on shared humility. Yoon-ah's role crystallized this timeless lesson, that greatness lies in care, not in conquest alone. As a historian, I see this not just as television, but as cultural memory speaking to us through art. Drama gives voice to ancestors whose ideals remain, teaching that benevolence is the root of strength. May we carry these values beyond the screen today, to guide our lives, our nations, and our humanity. The Tyrant's chef reminds us that even in rivalry, the heart's warmth can illuminate a path to peace. Thus, by tasting history through stories of cuisine, we rediscover truths that endure across centuries. Thank you for sharing in this reflection with me, and may these lessons continue to inspire all of us.